Hello, I'm Kimberly Monaghan and I teach here at New College Swindon. I teach animal management to level 1, 2 and our T-level programme, and I also look after the animal centre. As part of what we do here, we have to really care for our animals, and our students learn the 5 welfare needs as dictated by the Animal Welfare Act. And that is a core part of our education here. So our students are learning how to feed properly, create great enclosures, understand behaviour, understand when to take the animals to the vets, but also things like first aid, and also understand about kind of how we keep animals in social groupings or non-social groupings. So by learning all of that and taking that out into the world of work, our students are going to be improving welfare everywhere they go, every step of the way. And that is kind of what we hope for the future, that through more education, through our students going out and spreading the word, welfare will improve across the UK and abroad. It was really important for us to have a zoo-style species here at the college. Our students, especially the T-level students, have to have experience with lots of different kind of organisations and careers. So having spoken to some of our employers, they really wanted our students to have experience working with these kind of larger animals. So we said, well, what can we get? And the Raccoons came up as an idea for us. In terms of them being quite interesting, I didn't realise I'd never worked with a large omnivore before. I had worked in like farms and veterinary, so I didn't realise how much they would connect with our students and staff. So once they'd all settled in, they were really, really friendly. Obviously hands off with them because they have that ability to be quite dangerous, but they were far more kind of caring than I thought they'd be, even to the point that with our technician team they formed a really lovely bond, and they make like a beautiful little chuching noise at our technician team, in the same way as you see those videos on social media and the baby raccoons are chuching at their mothers. It's the same kind of relationship. Their arrival was really exciting. We've been planning for 3 years for to kind of get not just the centre but our outside enclosures, and we're also planning for an exciting zoo-style animal to go along with our other zoo-style animals. And so we spent a lot of time researching them and sourcing them, and then when we finally got them, they were really excited about being in their enclosures. Students were massively excited about seeing them, and we even have students like come by and kind of look that aren't even animal management students.
Hi, I'm Chloe. I'm an animal management technician here at Swindon New College. Being up and personal with the Raccoons is great. We've got a really good relationship. Me and Rocket and Chunk have worked really closely with each other to make sure that they are safe when they're in the students, and the students understand that they are a wild animal.
It's really amazing. You get to put together their food and you get to look at the behaviours of the raccoons, which you wouldn't see, especially in the wild, since we don't have them native to England. Having the raccoons at this college opens and expands more career paths for students who maybe are wanting to do something a bit different, and it helps to give more opportunities for students.
So Rocket, one of our raccoons, his father is called Oreo, and Oreo was the raccoon that they used in Guardians of the Galaxy. Some common misconceptions about the raccoons is that they wash their food. So they don't. It's a behaviour called dousing. Their pads are really sensitive, so when they put their pads in water, it heightens that sensitivity, and so they can actually feel what they're eating, see if it's worth eating. In the wild, they go through loads of trash cans because they've been urbanised. They're not dirty, they're very clean. Rocket spends probably like 4 hours a day in the pond looking for stuff and trying to see if he can find any worms or anything that we've missed. Raccoons eat a variety of different things. We have lots of meat in their diet, so we give them dead quail and chicks, as well as mice. They also have like dog food, we use that as a training aid, and they have a variety of fruits and veggies as well.
We feed them once in the afternoon and once in the morning, but it's every single day of the week. Doing enrichment for them, so we will provide like toys, we'll do things such as hiding treats and things, and it can just show how amazing these animals really are and how clever they are and the skills that they have.
So Rocket will do a behaviour where he follows his tail, so he will find like a cat, he will follow his tail around, And Chunk will do a behaviour where he stands up against your legs and puts his little 2 paws on your knees when he wants attention. So when the boys got here, unfortunately they developed a stereotypical behaviour called pacing. So if you do see them pacing at their bars, that's a behaviour they've learnt somewhere else. We've worked really hard with their training, so they go to their stations now when they're being fed. So if you look at their enclosure, Rocket Station is this big rock and Chunk Station is this little platform. And we feed them at those platforms. We feed them as soon as we get in the morning, so they're not pacing in the morning before they come, before you guys come in, and then they're fed throughout the day. This mimics their wild behaviours because they're opportunistic feeders, so it means that we can mimic that in a captive setting. So raccoons aren't a domestic animal, they are a wild animal. They have the power to really hurt you if they wanted to. We're very fortunate with our boys that they came from a background where people did touch them and did use them for different things, but we still respect that they are a wild animal and they do have the potential to hurt you.
Raccoons aren't domesticated, and we try our best to keep them as wild as they can be while in our animal centre. And the raccoons having that wilderness in them gives me more confidence in working with animals that are domesticated and that are very unpredictable. My favourite part is doing their diet. We get to do different things every day, different enrichment feeding. We also put in things like enrichment, as in we put other animals bedding in there so they can smell, and that helps along with their feeding and diets and stuff like that.
I do enjoy it, yes. It's very interesting to work with the animals because when people find out that they have the animals here, they're very surprised, and it's a very amazing experience. Definitely climbing. Rocket, one of the raccoons, has a hammock and he climbs up walls and uses his feet to kind of manoeuvre himself into the hammock, and I think that it is amazing how they can do such things.
The most interesting behaviour that I have seen them do is when they first came here, they started to growl and to say hello to everybody, and that was amazing because people would get worried, but it showed everyone that the raccoons aren't trying to be aggressive, they're just trying to say hello, and that's my favourite behaviour.
We study their lives really, really intensely. Our T-level students especially have to look at every aspect of their natural lives so that we can replicate it here at the college. In terms of conservation, these animals don't necessarily need conservation in this country. They're actually listed as an invasive species, so we need a license to keep them, and our students have learned all about how we have achieved that license, all of the inspections that we had to do and all the kind of paperwork that we had to do. The fact that the boys also have to be microchipped and castrated, and there's a whole escape procedure if anything happens. In terms of kind of keeping them here, it's nice for our students to get that kind of time with them because they might go off and do conservation work somewhere across the world, and they might come across raccoons in the wild, and it's good to understand their kind of behaviours.